This video is brought to you by CuriosityStream. Spoilers from and to Spider-Man Far From Home.
There was two froms in that sentence.
Was there?
Someone didn't like it.
I liked it. I want to talk about some things.
All right, but you've put me in a bad mood already. Grammatically, you've put me in a bad mood.
Sure.
But I'll do my best.
Spider-Man Far From Home has left a lot of questions in the universe for the MCU. Sure, things kind of came to a conclusion after Endgame.
As movies often do.
That's right. But this has opened up a whole can of worms. From and to.
As a fisherman often does.
Yes. That's right. And just up top, if people could leave a like, that would help us greatly in life and videos.
Mostly videos.
Yeah. So Nick Fury is in space.
Yes.
Because the real Nick Fury swapped himself out for a Skrull, for Talos.
At some point.
At some point in time, presumably after the snap, but I think he might have been using him for years in multiple different scenarios.
Dating scenarios, for example.
That's right.
You know that classic scenario where you book yourself for 2 dates on the one night?
Yeah.
A lot of people would panic. They'd pack 2 outfits and switch back and forth. Not Nick Fury, just bring a Skrull.
Exactly. I mean, that's really deceptive.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It calls into question, there's that sandwich cutting theory that people have talked about.
Yes.
From Age of Ultron.
If toast is cut diagonally, he can't eat it.
Yet he does it in Age of Ultron.
But that's bread, not
But that's
toast.
bread, exactly. It's so many layers deep. But
Like a sandwich.
Like a sandwich, depending on how much bread you use.
Yeah.
But the real question for me is, what is he doing in space?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He is treating himself to some sort of holographic vacation,
Yeah.
which would suggest that he's not in Earth's orbit.
No.
He might be a really long way away.
He's
might have been
far away enough that he misses it.
Exactly, yeah. A thing that he never does, presumably.
Yes.
I mean, we don't know anything about his private life.
We really
Maybe he
don't.
crashes a helicarrier and then he goes to Hawaii. We don't know.
Do you think maybe setting up S.W.O.R.D, which is like the space version of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Space version of S.H.I.E.L.D. He could be tracking down someone we haven't seen yet. There is some speculation.
Like a
that
Nova?
the Nova core was destroyed, but maybe there's one dude left, and that's the man called Nova.
Yeah.
He could be tracking down the Fantastic Four. We got maybe a couple of clues in Far From Home.
Yes.
Maybe it's rampant, insane speculation, but maybe that's the next hero team that we're going to get in this universe.
That's right. I can also see him being the kind of guy who would set up an intergalactic space force. So he wants to be on top of everything all the time. He wants to know what's going on.
Yes.
Not just on Earth.
Uh-huh.
And I guess this is his way, could be his way of kind of feeling that out. Yeah.
Another question, I guess, would be, who else knows about this?
Yeah.
Because in the comic books, Nick Fury was revealed at one point to be sort of a one-man mission to protect the Earth by any means necessary, including blowing up a planet, as an example. Maybe this is his very, very super secret mission that literally no one knows about besides him and the Skrulls. Maybe he's in some dangerous territory.
Maybe he ends up trapped on the moon like he does in one comic.
Correct,
Maybe
yes.
he's still there. I don't know. It's white Nick Fury. It's different Nick Fury.
Different Nick Fury, yeah.
Do you think it could tie into a secret invasion storyline somehow?
Could
They could
very well,
switch it
yeah.
and be like it's a Kree secret invasion as opposed to the
Yeah,
Skrulls.
I guess
But there
they
are
could, yeah.
bad Skrulls also, though,
That's
in
true,
the universe.
yeah. Could be tracking down Galactus. Maybe that's the maybe that's the in for the Fantastic Four.
I wouldn't go anywhere near that dude.
Neither
Because
would
of his
I.
big chomping mouth.
Exactly. He'd chop you right up.
But back on Earth, Peter Parker, his identity was revealed to the world.
Yes.
Or was it?
Well, first of all, or was it?
Yeah.
I mean, that may have just been an illusion that was just directed into his eyeballs.
Yes, that's
Maybe
right.
no one else can see that, and he freaks out and panics.
Yeah, and the next movie, it's like, we could have done it, but we didn't. Bring us $1,000.
Yeah, and I think that is...
They want $1,000.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Marvel and saying it to the audience. We're going to done it, made you upset, but instead give us $1,000. And we'll be like, we will give you $1,000.
In terms of Mysterio is dead, maybe. Let's assume that he is.
Yeah.
But Mysterio isn't just Mysterio. He's a team of people that make Mysterio happen.
Yes, that's
it's
right.
holograms and drones and mocap suits.
It's a makeup department.
It's a makeup department.
Craft
etc.
services.
Exactly.
Best boy.
So-
which presupposes the existence of a worst boy. Bum, bum, bum.
So it could be undone that way.
Yes.
You mentioned on our podcast, The Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. We recently did a Far From Home episode. We'll link it below if you want to check it out.
Oh my God, get to the point that I said.
That Doctor Strange has a time machine.
Well, he has so many skills.
Yeah.
Even without the use of the time stone, he
Yeah.
could just change everybody's memories.
Yeah,
He could
that's
just give everybody's memories a little
Yep.
shove and they would just forget.
Exactly.
So again, what happens after this is entirely reliant on how much the next filmmaker wants to waste on it.
Yes.
This could be the next movie. It could be forever, or they could fix it in 2 minutes at the start of the next one. We don't know yet.
For me, what makes Peter Parker interesting in the comics is that he's this kind of one-man fighting force. And I know he does team up with the Avengers and so forth, but there's a reason why that character has been in multiple standalone comics for so long.
He's relatable. Sometimes he's doing well, sometimes he's not doing well. Sometimes he's about to get kicked out of his apartment. Sometimes he's married to a supermodel.
Yeah.
You know, a whole bunch of stuff. He's rarely...
he's not Tony Stark.
He's very rarely a surrogate heir to a multi-billion-dollar fortune, and he has literally everything at his disposal at all times, which feels at some points where this character is going to lead. He started out kind of not so well off, and now he's got anything he needs.
And I think that can be interesting because it's a different universe and whatever. Just like the Andrew Garfield universe is different than this universe. Yeah. The hair, for one. That's one example of a different thing.
And the Garfield universe is different from our universe. You know?
Yeah.
Cats don't eat lasagna in real life.
I bet they would if you fed one up. A lasagna.
I guess that's true.
It'd probably kill him, but you could do it.
You could do it, yeah.
Don't do it though. Yeah, this idea that he doesn't, you know, he's not just relying on himself, I think might make him less interesting if he's just the next billionaire mogul, genius, head of the Avengers, so on and so forth. Because then there's elements of the story that you just cannot do. He can't finish high school properly. He can't go to college, do all that kind of stuff. He can't work for the Daily Bugle. None of that. There is a J. Jonah Jameson now. We know that, but that element would be missing if everybody knows he's Spider-Man. So it has to be reversed at some point, right?
I mean, print is dead, so
sure.
You know, maybe you don't want to do that. But, I mean, that's true. And I mean, but again, you know, Spider-Man in the comic books does exist in a world where he is friends with billionaires. He has access to all kinds of stuff that could keep him rich and famous and, you know...
Abs
all the time. But, you know, at a certain point, the character will often take a stand and go, you know what, I am going to do this all on my own. So maybe that is just where it's going to go. He's going to
Every time they want to do a Spider-Man #1. Again.
Well, exactly. That's right. Exactly. Yeah, and maybe he will just in the next one maybe just turn his back on all that and say, I'm gonna get a paper route and do it all on my own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the idea is though they've signed him on for like 150 movies, and we're going to be seeing the progression of this character over 9 or so solo movies or whatever they've tied him into. I heard a rumor that it was like 3 high school movies, then your college, and then your adult years, and somewhere in that, presumably towards the college and adult, you'd bring in like a Miles Morales.
Sure, yeah.
There's no way we're not getting that character at some point.
Absolutely.
But it's just really a matter of when. We also know in the universe he probably exists because Donald Glover's character, the Prowler, mentions a nephew, and his nephew is Miles Morales.
Correct.
But we don't know whether that's a baby or 22. We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that something you want to see though?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to hold off like 2 or 3 movies at least to like introduce that element? Because he has to be old enough to mentor, right?
I guess that's true. Yeah. Or he could be a mentor that doesn't know anything.
Yeah, no, that's true.
That's an element.
Like most of the mentors in the MCU.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're bloody bad influences, I tell you what. Do you want to see more of Spider-Man in high school? Or do you, because I kind of feel like...
He's 23 as well.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
He looks young.
Yeah.
But it's getting to the point where... He's still 16, really?
Yeah, I feel like this movie could very much... They could have been like, well, this is spring break because we're finished high school, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't want to see 3 more high school movies.
No, we won't. I'm saying we'll get maybe 1 more and then some college movies.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, you're approaching Tobey Maguire's age. You need to...
And no one wants to do that.
Yeah, the other thing is, I guess we're doing Venom Spider-Man, all right?
Based on what?
The people at Sony have said it. Kevin Feige's like, well, it's not really...
I can't stop them.
They can just do it.
Yeah, right.
But
is Tom Holland contractually obliged to be in a Spider-Man Venom movie?
I think he's probably contractually obliged to whatever they want him to do.
Right. Okay.
I don't think they had 9 scripts and been like, okay, well, we want you to approve all of them. And he goes, I'll do all of them except the Venom one.
Tom, here's a gun with 3 bullets. You have to pick. You have to pick 3 of our executives.
So...
Oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah. There's elements of the Venom character also which are very different from the comics. One being that the suit it starts with Peter Parker.
So it started during Secret Wars. He just thought it was a costume and he collected it in outer space.
Yep.
And then it was revealed to him later that it was an alien symbiote.
Copied all his powers, gave it to somebody else, etc.
Yeah, exactly. And so and specifically it gave it to someone. It was the symbiote hated Spider-Man and the person who received it hated Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So it was this kind of perfect storm. The symbiote went to someone who hated him the most.
Yeah.
And in this, how do we do that?
Maybe Spider-Man catches Eddie Brock eating out of the bin again.
Oh, yeah,
it's
for
like,
sure, yeah.
I have to get rid of this guy, don't I?
Sure,
it's embarrassing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, he
takes a photo of him, puts him on dailybugle.net. Look at this guy eats out of a bin.
And I caught him in a lobster tank.
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to come at that a different way, obviously. I think it might be interesting, though, if his identity is revealed for a little bit, and then you go, Kraven the Hunter's going to come after him then. He knows who he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, he's a bloody prey that I'd like to stick my bloody teeth into, my bloody fangs, chomp chomp. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm curious, though, what do people think? What direction is this universe going to go now?
Is Spider-Man's identity out there in the world, a la I Am Iron Man, or are they going to fix it with a couple of Skrulls in the next movie?
Because a lot of time in the MCU, the ramifications aren't as big as you'd think. Because half the population of the world disappeared, and then it was mostly solved by like, it's fine. And everyone's back for the most part. And people were in planes, they didn't fall out of the sky.
They didn't fall out of the sky. They just arrived on the ground again. It's fine. Does this confirm that Ben Mendelsohn was in the final scene of Endgame?
I do not know. Good question. Let's ask Ben Mendelsohn on Twitter.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's probably not on Twitter.
He's probably not.
Australia's own Ben Mendelsohn.
He's probably rolling a durry in the back of a ute.
You better believe it.
Now, as mentioned up top, this video is brought to you by CuriosityStream, a subscription service with over 2,400 documentaries and non-fiction titles from some of the world's best filmmakers, including exclusive originals. This spans nature, science, history, technology, lots of dinosaur stuff, space and the like. So many things, because the wealth of titles available is absolutely absurd. A good jumping off point is the top science stories of 2018, because after watching that I feel up to date and informed and less like an idiot. CuriosityStream is available on the web app, Roku, Android, Xbox One, smart TVs, iOS, Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Amazon Kindle, Apple TV, and more the world over. You can actually go to curiositystream.com/Mr. Sunday Movies for unlimited access to the world's top documentaries and non-fiction series. And for viewers of this channel, if you enter the promo code Mr. Sunday Movies, or one word, when prompted during the sign-up process, your first month is completely free. I mean, it's an absolute bargain as is, but that's an even bigger bargain. Check it out if you want. It's linked below. All right, as mentioned, we have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows, but of course there's videos here every Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday. Why don't you bloody hit a subscribe to this channel specifically?
That's right. In the back of your ute.
That's right.
Sparking up a durry.
That's it. I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies on Twitter.
Oh, I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
See you next time.
And grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.